Hi there. Welcome to JSerra. My name is Olviia Huie. I'm the Director of Counseling. I want to welcome you personally to JSerra, and I'm really excited that you've chosen to come. Obviously, these are unprecedented times, so I am Zooming from the comfort of my own bedroom. So excuse me ahead of time if I have little ones that jump into this presentation. But I do want to give you some information as you start to decide on what classes to take and help you get really acclimated to life at JSerra, especially as it relates to your academics. So I have a presentation here for you today. Hopefully you're watching from the comfort of your own home, and we will have after this a particular Q&A session so that if any questions come up, you are more than welcome to talk to the counselors next week. So in this presentation, I will be discussing the counseling department, what we do as a department, what our role is, how to utilize your counselor, how to get connected. We as a counseling staff and as a school really encourage you to adopt a growth mindset. So we're going to show you what that is. We'll review the graduation requirements, and then I'll review the academic planning and course selection process. So who we are, we have 6 counselors that are assigned to each student. In the next slide, I'm going to have all the counselors introduce themselves to you and who they are working with in terms of their caseload. So Donna Vandenberg is our vice principal. And as your counselor, we work with you starting in the 9th grade all the way till 12th grade. So we will be working with you for the next 4 years. We also have marriage and family therapists on staff that is unique to our school. And so if there's any issues that come up as you go through high school, they're definitely here to serve as a resource to not only students, but families as well. We have a registrar. Her name is Mrs. Miller. So if you have any document requests or need to send documents to our school, she's definitely the person to contact. Overall, our counselors have caseloads of about 215 on average. In the state of California, there's actually about 700 to 1 in terms of public schools. So this is a good ratio, but we also do want you to be aware that we have over 200 students on our caseload. So if we're not getting back to you as soon as possible, please know that we are working very hard with all of our students and families. All right, so here are the counselors. I'll introduce them. Hi, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to our counseling staff. I'll have them introduce themselves, one fun fact about themselves, and who they work with in terms of caseload. So I'm Olviia Huie. I'm the Director of Counseling, and I work with students whose last names are A through B. And one fun fact about me is that I'm a professional photographer on the side.
Hi students, I'm Mary Victoria Taylor. My caseload are students whose last names begin with C through E. One fact about me is that I'm a military wife and we made 26 moves while my husband was in the service.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Crest. I share my caseload with Mrs. Murphy and we have last names F through L. Fun fact is I love Steelers football. That's my favorite season.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Murphy and I share the caseload with Mrs. Kress, F through L. And a fun fact about me is that I love to stay in shape, and I've been bike riding during this quarantine and walking 30 miles a day.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Pierce. I have students with the last names M through R. One fun fact about me is that I played college softball, and because of that, I was able to play softball in Europe. So it was awesome.
And hello, JSerra families. I am Monica Salaya. I am happy to work with students with last names S through Z. And one fun fact about me, I am a diehard Dodger fan. I bleed Dodger blue since the day I've been born. I'm missing baseball season right now, but I'm excited to see it again when it comes back on.
And here are your counselors at JSerra. Welcome.
Hi.
All right, so those are the counselors. You can also locate the counselor assignments and how to contact them on our website under academics, and college counseling. So we have a motto here at JSerra where we really believe that that students find a really good fit in terms of college, and that we don't focus on the brand name of a school, but rather the fit with the student. So we do our best to get to know each student as best as possible, so that when it does come time to checking out schools and applying to schools, that we're connecting them with schools that we think would make a great fit. So our motto is, college is a match to be made and not a prize to be won. And we hope that all of our families adopt that same motto, that it's not about the name of the school that gets you anywhere. It's about your own grit, your character, and your work ethic. So, and your God-given purpose, okay? So what do we stand for in terms of our own department? We have a mission that we created a number of years ago that says, JSerra academic and college counselors seek to reflect God by serving JSerra students in the pursuit of excellence in their high school, college, academic, and personal development. And we believe all students can succeed and aim to help students develop a sense of purpose, self-awareness, balance, and self-advocacy. So all of the interactions we have, everything that we do really comes from this mission and vision of seeing students as a whole person, and really encouraging students to learn these skills, to really understand how to advocate for themselves, to have a sense of balance, that it's okay to not take all the APs and not sleep at night, to have sleep at night, I'm sorry, to have fun time with friends and family, and to understand that every single student has a purpose, and that every decision that they're making throughout high school can really lead to that purpose. So we have opportunities to meet with our students often throughout the year and throughout the 4 years. We will meet you at freshman orientation, which we're very excited about. We do classroom visits to give guidance on academic planning, college planning, things like that. We will, in the first semester, try to check in with every single one of our freshmen just to see how things are going, talk about how is organization skills going, time management, study skills. If they're struggling with anything, how can we encourage them to really advocate for themselves? We've often heard from all of our teachers and even us as counselors that now is the time for students to be the ones to communicate with teachers and counselors. And it's not that we don't want parents to step in, but we don't want students to just rely on parents to do everything for them, or their counselors to do everything for them. That if things get tough, and it's hard for them, we actually want them to have that and have those challenges so that they can learn and grow through those challenges. So really, when you're thinking about communicating with the teachers, try to have your student or counselors, try to have your students do that first, encourage them to do that first. And of course, CC you so that you know that that happened. And you can see the response. We also do classroom meetings where we will do course planning and course placement every single year, and college readiness opportunities. Additional meetings that aren't required, but we do offer, are academic at risk, or I like to call them student success planning meetings. We do what's called RAP meetings, where we'll sometimes call in all the teachers if a student's really struggling and they've tried all these interventions and things aren't really working out well. Our teachers are really involved with their student progress, and they do want to see them be successful at school. So they are there for your students. If students need any tutoring referrals, we're happy to do that. Any adjustment issues, usually the first semester of freshman year is a transition. So we often see students who did really well in middle school kind of falter in the first semester, and that's totally normal. So we're here to help with that transition. Any conflict resolution with friends, with teachers, things like that, we can assist with. And if anybody wants any more opportunities, or seeking out summer opportunities, or they're interested in medicals, going into the medical field, they want to know what they can start doing, they can talk to their counselor as well. So in terms of just finding out more resources, we do have a particular website. If you haven't seen it yet, I would encourage you to visit it. It's under the Den, and under the parents and students and the counseling portal. And under that website, we have a lot of resources as it relates to guide by guide grade, tutoring referrals, how to utilize our counselors, how to contact the counselors, different presentations we've offered, summer programs, etc. So this is a guide by guide grade that we've put together. We also currently have a COVID counseling web page that's on there as well. So you're more than welcome to check that out. So how to use your counselor, obviously, we're here for you every step of the way. You can come to us with academic planning questions. You want to think about your 4 years at JSerra, how to get to a particular class while you're a senior, or even you have some college goals or career goals that you have in mind. We're here to help guide and assist you as to what classes to take and what to do at JSerra. Like I said earlier, we do have tutoring resources. We always encourage our students, if they're struggling, the first line of defense is always going to be talking to the teacher. Our teachers are great about offering a lot of office hours, either before school, after school, at lunch, at break. So when students are struggling, we always encourage students to go and see the teacher. That is a common practice and one that will serve you well throughout your time at JSerra. Again, we encourage self-advocacy and communications to teachers, or if students are struggling, they're like, I don't know how to communicate with my teacher, she's intimidating or whatever, they can always come to us and we can help them develop some really good communication skills and self-advocacy skills. We also connect them to opportunities. If there's any careers that they want to check out, we can connect them to that. College planning, of course, assistance in overcoming personal challenges. And if you just don't know where to go and you just have general questions, we can always, if we don't have the answer, we can always guide you to the person or the right department at school. So these are the graduation requirements to graduate from JSerra, okay? Every year you have to take theology, so that's a 4-year, 40 credit requirement. Every year for a class that's a full year, you get 10 credits. If it's a semester course, you get 5 credits. So hence, if you take theology every year, you're going to get 40 credits. Same with English, you need that every year. So again, 4 years, 40 credits. Math, we require 3 years, but we do recommend that you take that for 4. Many colleges like to see math in the senior year because they found that there's a correlation with academic success in college. So that's what we're encouraging you to do as well. Science, we require 3 years, 30 credits. Social studies, we also require 3 years for 30 credits. There are some caveats to social studies that I will get into later when I go through the course selection form that we're providing you. World language, we require 2 years, 20 credits. We encourage all students to take at least 3. Arts, you just need 1 year. That's a visual or performing art, okay? And that's 1 year that's required for graduation. Health, we require half a year. That's 5 credits. Freshman communications, we require half a year. Again, 5 credits. PE, we require 2 years or 20 credits. If you are planning to play a sport at JSerra, for every season you play that sport, you will actually receive 5 credits. If you are in a class for that particular sport, you will receive 10 credits on top of the 5 credits. So for example, if you are a football player, let's say, and you are in our PE football class, it is a period of the day, and you also play football, then you will receive 15 credits per year. Okay, not all of our sports offer sport classes during the day. So on our course catalog, you can find the various offerings that coaches have for either 7th period or 1st period PE sport classes, okay? We also have other PE classes as well. You don't have to play a sport at JSerra to receive PE credits. We have general PE as well. And then electives, we require 40 credits. This includes, so you don't have to do specific electives. This includes any courses that you take over the minimum requirement. So for example, if you decide to take a 3rd year of, let's say, Spanish, that is not going towards your graduation requirement because you've already completed the 20 credits. That will go, the 10 credits will go towards electives. So as you can see, it's very easy to obtain 40 credits if you take over the minimum requirement. All in all, we required 270 credits to graduate from JSerra. And then we also require 80 hours of Christian service, which is actually 20 hours per year. So the grading system at JSerra, I wanted to let you know what to expect and how we do our semester system. So quarter one, our semesters are comprised of 2 quarters and a final. Each quarter is worth 40% of your overall grade, and the final is worth 20% of your grade. After each quarter, your grade resets. It's not cumulative. So let's say you get a B in quarter one, that's a B. And if you get a B in quarter two, that's also a B. And you get a A on the final, you might get an overall B. And the semester courses, the grades are what actually go on the final transcript. So grades and GPA calculation, I know we get this question a lot. So honors classes at JSerra are weighted 1 point extra in terms of a GPA. High school level classes, these are high school level classes that go more in depth. So the level of critical thinking is higher, the demand of work is also more. So that is an honors class, and for all of our honors and AP courses and some upper division courses, there will be prerequisites to meet in order to get into those honors classes. The AP advanced placement courses also give 1 point weight to the GPA. This is a college level class. The demand is going to be much higher, and students will be required to take AP exams at the end of the year. Students are able to start taking APs in their sophomore year. And then all of our courses are college prep courses. So you don't have to take honors and APs to be college ready. All of our normal classes are college prep. And so if you take those classes, they will make you college ready as well. The grades start counting in the 9th grade, just so you know. There's a misconception that grades in the 9th grade don't technically count. They start counting. You have 4 years worth of grades to make a GPA for your college admissions, okay? So it does help to do your best and try to get the best grades you can, because that can help get you into honors and AP classes, and even for college admissions and scholarships eventually. But I don't want to also add any other pressure, because like I said earlier, transitioning to high school can be a challenge, and that's okay. And it's okay to falter a little bit and figure it out. There's always room for improvement, and you're also learning at the same time. So don't put too much pressure on yourself that you have to get straight A's all the time. But if that's by all means what you want to do and that's your goal, we're here to help you through that. So summer school, there's a lot of great reasons to take summer school. It helps you get acclimated to JSerra before the school year starts. You can definitely meet and make new friends, and it provides room in your schedule for any elective, such as magnet courses, PE sports classes, if you want to take some more visual and performing arts. So right now, our summer school is slated to be offered brick and mortar. Should there be any changes to that, given the COVID situation, you will be informed closer to summer by our administration. So you want to get connected. We do throw out some text alerts just as reminders. We have a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page if you want to follow us. We have some fun things on there where we're currently celebrating our seniors going off to college or getting accepted to college, or we'll post various articles on there, or when we visit colleges, we'll post those on there as well. So you can certainly follow us. And at JSerra, it really makes your experience richer, and you become happier when you're more connected and involved. So we encourage every single freshman to get involved in some capacity. And we also obviously require you to do Christian service, but we have a lot of different opportunities for Christian service as well. So on our website, if you want to kind of get a head start and see what kinds of clubs we offer, opportunities for Christian service we offer, you can go to our website, and under the Den and parents and students, you will find, is it Christian service? And under Christian service, it will tell you how to meet the Christian service requirement and various opportunities. We also have a listing of various clubs on campus, who to contact for each club. If you eventually wanted to start a club, you have the opportunity to do that as well. So some schedules and summer contact. So we are going to help you through and provide you tools. We're going to help you problem solve through challenging situations. We cannot make schedule changes for teacher preferences. You can't just ask for particular teachers or athletic schedules. For example, if you're consistently leaving at the end of the day, over 80% of our student body are involved in some sports. So we can't always accommodate every single student's request. And if you want certain classes during a particular day, we just can't do that, just because we have such a massive amount of classes and teachers and students, and it's just a huge puzzle to really get everything working well and working together and meeting everybody's schedules and needs. So we really ask that you refrain from asking for these things. And we cannot place you into classes for which you don't qualify. Not to hold you back, but we really want to make sure that you are well prepared for those advanced or honors or AP levels. So that's why we have these prerequisites in place to ensure that you're finding success in those classes and have the right amount of challenge. Okay, we want to make sure you're balanced, right, and make sure that you have time to rest, to play, to manage your work in a reasonable amount of time. We also allow for some schedule changes. So we usually just have 2 weeks in the beginning of the school year for schedule changes, but this time we're going to move it to 3 weeks. So you have a little bit of time to test out the waters. If you are in an honors or upper level class and it's pretty difficult for you, you can always level down. We also allow students to level down at the quarter and the semester. In the summer, because some of our counselors are off, you can always email our general line at counseling@jserra.org, and one of our counselors on staff will try to get back to you with an answer. So this is the growth mindset video that we like to show all of our incoming families. It is a great philosophy that we adopt, that we really do want our students to have challenges, because that's how you grow. And when you are uncomfortable and you have to figure things out on your own or like with some guidance, that we really want you to take those on. And this is a short video on why it's so important to adopt a growth mindset.
They gave all the kids a really easy nonverbal IQ test. There were 10 questions, and at the end of the test, they praised all the children in one of two ways. The first group was praised for their intelligence. So they said, "Wow, great job. You must be really smart at this." Now the second group was praised for their effort. So they said, "Wow, great job. You must have worked really hard at this." Now this is a really subtle difference, but the impact it had is incredible. So after praising the kids and getting them divided up into the two groups, they gave them all an option for their next test. The first option was, hey, this next test is going to be a little bit harder, but it's going to be a great opportunity to learn and grow. Now the second option was, this next test will be similar to the first and you will surely do well on it. Now the interesting thing is, out of the group that was praised for their intelligence, 67% of them chose the easier option, while 92% of the kids who were praised for their effort chose the harder test. This is unbelievable to think about, how just the subtle difference in the way that they were praised had such an impact. Carol Dweck explains why this happens.
Child or adult hears, "Oh, you think I'm brilliant and talented. That's why you admire me. That's why you value me. I better not do anything that will disprove this evaluation." As a result, they enter a fixed mindset, they play it safe in the future, and they limit their the growth of their talents. Whereas focusing on the strategies they use, the way they're stretching themselves and taking on hard tasks, the intense practice they're doing, those are the kinds of things that, say, to a child or an older athlete, it's about the process of growth. As a result, they don't feel, oh, if I make a mistake, you won't think I'm talented. They think, oh, if I don't take on hard things and stick to them, I'm not going to grow.
Next, Dweck and her colleagues gave all the kids a really, really difficult test. It was one that they would surely fail, but they wanted to look at how the different kids attacked this challenge. Dweck noticed that the group that was praised for effort worked harder, longer, and actually enjoyed this test more than the group that was praised for their intelligence. This group got really frustrated with this test and had the tendency to give up early. After this artificially induced failure round, all of the kids were given a third and final test. Now this test was the same level of difficulty as the first one, but check out the results. The group that was praised for their intelligence actually did worse on this test than the first one. Their average score actually dropped by 20%, while the group that was praised for their effort did significantly better, raising their average score by nearly 30%. This is a 50% difference in performance that was caused by a few subtle differences in the way that they were praised.
So yeah, we really encourage everybody to focus on the effort and the journey and not be tied so much to labels that I'm smart or I am a really good athlete, and instead really focusing on I put a lot of effort into it, which is why I did well, or I have skills and I'm working on those skills. That's why I'm doing better. So we hope that that made sense and that that's something that you can try to adopt at your first year at JSerra. And this is just a kind of a sheet on social emotional learning competencies that, yes, you want to learn about academics and geometry and English, and all of those things are great. But we also want to develop your character. And so that's kind of a little bit more nebulous, right? So these are some skill sets that you can think about. How do you develop these and grow in these different areas to not just be smart or intelligent academically, but intelligent emotionally as well, which is equally, if not sometimes more important. And we also encouraged goal setting. I hope that you've practiced that already in your short time through school. Exercise is super important. We also say, the real value of failure is just there's a lot of value in that and really learning from it. And there's a lot of positive and good that can come through that. And just we have different tips for success for you in terms of just doing really well at JSerra. And we talked about that already, self-advocacy. Get to know your teachers, introduce yourselves to them, introduce yourselves to 2 to 3 new people that you've never met before, and try not to stick to the people that you came from middle school with, because even making and developing new friendships or connections is an important skill to have as well. And finally, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Okay, at this time, I am going to walk you through the online course selection form. So you're going to fill out the first part. It's very easy. Then you're going to select your assigned counselor. And then if you've applied and have been accepted to a magnet program, you can indicate that here. You're going to select the grade for the upcoming school year. And then you're going to go ahead and start selecting your courses. So it would be helpful if you read all of the course descriptions so you know exactly what courses you want to take and are qualified to take. So the first one is theology. So for example, if you are going into junior year, you would pick Theology 3 or Theology 3 honors if you have come from a prior school that had theology. And also English, you're going to pick English 3 or the AP language course. Okay, so it all depends on your incoming grade level and what you qualify for. So you can always refer back to our course catalog for that information. If you have any questions about the courses that you plan to take or want to take, you can always contact your counselor and sign up for a Q&A session that will be on May 5th. Because I know it can be a little tricky to know which courses to choose based on your prior courses at your previous school. Okay, so that's the online course selection form. We're going to do the best we can, and like I said, we will help you through the process. And even if you submit this and you need to make any course changes, you can do so all the way up until June 3rd. So don't worry about if you made a mistake or if there's another course that you wanted to take instead. You can always change your courses up until June 3rd. So just some things to reiterate. We will be requiring official transcripts as soon as possible from your prior school. This will ensure that we can post those courses and grades onto our transcripts. We will be hosting a live Q&A session with our counseling staff, specifically for transfers on May 5th. So you'll look out for an email for that. I did want to mention something that's unique at our school that I actually oversee called TLC, Transfer Lions Club. We have a number of upper class students who have signed up to be mentors for our transfers. So we will work to get your student connected with a current TLC mentor as soon as possible. Also, in terms of placements, I know it can be tricky, like I said earlier, but we will do the best we can. And there are prerequisites that you still have to meet, but we'll work with you to ensure that you're properly placed for the following school year. And all of these course selection forms will be due on May 8th. But like I said, no need to panic if you made a mistake or if you need to change a particular class. You can always do so up until June 3rd. So that is it. I appreciate you sticking around for the entirety of this presentation. We look forward to meeting with you in person, and we hope you're staying safe and healthy, and welcome again to JSerra.